on, fellas. We're going to start with the Los Angeles Angels. Take a look at the prospects, top prospects, strengths, weaknesses. You know the drill, everyone watching at home if you have been. Starting off number one, just talked about Cade Anderson. I'm going to talk about the other guy that was drafted right ahead of them. A lot of debate in the 2025 draft who was going 2 and 3 after Eli Willits. Well, this guy, Tyler Bremner, number one in the Angels system. ETA, it's listed as 2026. I'll get into my rule with the Angels in just a little bit. He's MLB's number 91 prospect in 2025 rankings. He was moved up to number 81 in 2026 in the latest rankings. Again, a lot of questions about picking Bremner, a little bit of an unknown compared to what Anderson was able to do, as we mentioned before at LSU. Uses his frame well, standing on the mound at 6'2", does not pitched in rookie ball yet, so very similar to Anderson. He'll really get the first taste of it upcoming here in 2026. Should start there in rookie ball, maybe could make his way up single A, high A. I think double A is definitely on the table by season's end. I think the biggest question for him is going to be, what do the Angels view him as? Is he going to be a reliever with his stuff, or is he going to be a starter? Right now, a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider, fastball, slider, both graded out at a 65 elite. Fastball sitting 95 to 98 with good ride. Changeup really looks like a split change, very Kevin Gausman-esque, just drops off the table, goes from really the middle of the zone down to the knees very quickly. Biggest question, mentioned the slider, sweeper, really doesn't throw it a ton. Can he get away with 2 pitches as a starter while he develops a third, while he develops a fourth? I think that's definitely going to be a big question for him in 2026 and moving forward. Invited to spring training as a non-roster invitee, highlighting a very impressive group for the Angels. Get into a few names a little bit later on about that. Now, guys, I'm going to go with Sam's approach with the other LA team and what I think the Angels are going to do and what I think they should do with the ETA of these guys here, because they're a little bit interesting strategy they got going on in Anaheim. So my ETA is 2027. Let him develop, have a full season, work in the minor leagues, kind of work his way up through single A, establish himself, and I've mostly probably as a starter. They're going to give him those reps first, see how he adjusts, and maybe bring him up 2027 again as another non-roster invitee, what he can bring to the table. Angels ETA, maybe late 2026, because sometime we'll get to that a little bit later on, bringing guys up very quickly. There is a need for pitching. For their point of view, maybe late 2026, maybe on the same timeline of 2027.
Hey everyone, I've got some breaking news in the baseball world for you. Minor League Minute is teaming up with JustBats.com for the whole month of March. Spring is just around the corner, and I know you or someone you care about needs a bat. Today, let's talk about the ability to have custom engravings. Nothing says owning equipment like having your own name or your own message etched into it. And that's what this team can provide for your team. JustBats.com is full of people who love baseball just like you and I. Head to the link in the description to learn more about JustBats.com today.
Number 2 is a guy they already called up in that same vein, Ryan Johnson, ETA 2026. He did pitch at the end of 2025. He was the number 96 prospect in the top 100 in 2025, unranked in the newest rankings. Was drafted over slot in the second round by the Angels in 2024 and has already made his big league debut, just playing 1 season in high A. Very compact, high delivery, relies on a 3-pitch mix, cutter, slider, sinker. Cutter averages just about 91, but has a remarkable 2.4 inches of horizontal run along the zone. Slider leads to some pretty ugly hacks as well when he moves it across the zone. Some ugly swings from Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette when they played the Blue Jays. Problem lies with hitters sitting on that movement, laying off of it, and then he has to put that pitch around the middle of the zone and bailing it up against the best in the game. Another case of the Angels, like Ben Joyce, really liking what they see in the lower levels, and you're just going to go straight up to the show, my friend. Set him up after a 1.88 ERA in just 12 starts in high A before getting the call, but finished the year with a 7.38 ERA in the bigs. But that was in large part to allowing 5 runs in a third of an inning against the White Sox in his final start to end the season. Angels ETA. Here we go again, guys. Angels ETA 2026 will be a depth piece when someone goes out in the pen. For me, it's agreeance. I think he's going to be back up in the bigs, but right now the Angels did sign Brent Suter, Jordan Romano, Kirby Yates, Drew Pomeranz, Robert Stevenson will be coming back as well. So it's a lot more crowded than it was last season for Los Angeles. So, maybe there could be a case he's not listed as well on the team's depth chart as well at this time. So there might be a situation where put him in the minors and he is the break glass. If one of these veterans has an injury, you need to bring him up. But I am agreeance with the Angels ETA, like ChatGPT. That's what I'm going with here. Number 3 with the prospects is George Klassen, right-hander ETA 2026 as well. Get to that in a few moments. 2023 draft choice by the Philadelphia Phillies in the 6th round and was traded with fellow prospect Sam Aldegheri for Carlos Estevez in 2024. Really a trade that both teams are really not benefiting yet. Estevez gone from the Phillies and Klassen and Aldegheri still finding their way. Grade is a 70 grade fastball. It's electric, 55 grade curve, 55 grade slider. Fastball, the headliner. The biggest thing for him is control and staying healthy. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but sustaining it is the biggest thing. Was promoted across 4 levels back in 2024, finishing in Double-A, but finished with a 5 ERA there. Started strong through the promotion. This past year was 4-12 with a 5.22 ERA, 25 games, 25 starts, 1 complete game. He did finish in Triple-A for 1 start, went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks for Triple-A Salt Lake. So the stuff is there. It's just all about putting it together, consistent location with the fastball, battling the injuries, consistency, repetition for him. Angels ETA 2026, I guess matching it. Injuries could play a part. If they start him in Triple-A, has some good few starts with them, could get called up, quick promotion. My ETA 2027. I think 2026 is a possibility as well, but I think this is an outlier for the Angels. They didn't shoot him up right away after he had a great, high A or Double-A start. They were kind of playing it out with him, working through some injuries. So, I think, have a full season. I think he's bounced around a lot between the Phillies system, the Angels system, from high A, single A, Double-A, Triple-A for 1 game to end the season. I'd say give him a full season in Triple-A. See what he can do. Full season, same team, work on those mechanics, develop that consistency, and then 2027, he is ready. Number 4, Johnny Slawinski, ETA 2029, 3rd round draft pick in 2025, was committed to go to Texas A&M before signing with the Angels. Very projectable stuff from the left side. 50 grades across the board, curveball, fastball, 55 grade slider, changeup, and fastball. 6'3" frame, a 4-sport athlete in high school, and guys born in 2007, making me feel really, really old. Developmental arm for the Angels, something to their credit. They've really added velocity to these guys, and I think Slawinski could be a good benefactor. He sits kind of 93, 94 right now. Maybe get him up to 96, 97 on that arm slot. Angels ETA 2027. I think 2028 as well. Very difficult difficult. Angels, this guy hasn't played in the minors yet. Get him at the very least a full season and then work him up from there. He's going to be turning 19 on the 26th. Oh, man, I'm planning a bash for him, guys. You guys are invited for 19 for Johnny Slawinski. Number 5 is Joswa Lugo, ETA 2029 shortstop, signed as an international free agent in 2024. Some very intriguing raw power. Last 2 seasons played in the Dominican Rookie Ball League. Thing that's really jumped off the page is the power numbers for him. Has a tendency to chase, but the power upside is there and has the possibility to be moved around if the Angels want to maybe move him over to third, even left field as well with his power numbers. I think ETA, me and the Angels, right in agreement, 2029. I think there's another one where Angels have Zach Neto there. Lugo, more of a developmental prospect, still in ACL rookie ball. I want to ask you guys a question because I know we have a few of these pitchers we discussed. Is what do you think of the Angels' strategy of you draft a guy, you put him in the minors, and they get called up within a few months if they're pitching well? What do you think of that?
I think it is what a lot of fans of the Pirates and the Brewers and other top farms, the White Sox, ask for. And then we have examples around the league of it happening, and you learn why they don't do it. And 2 reasons, right? And that's why the White Sox and the Brewers and the Pirates, to name a couple, have the best farm systems in baseball year in and year out, more consistently than maybe the Angels of the world, is for 2 reasons. You don't rush them, because if you rush them, now all of a sudden you're impacting their confidence a little bit. No one likes getting sent back to AAA, especially more than once after they've made their debut. 2, when you start that service time clock, you can't really slow it down unless you want to completely dismantle a guy's career. And so we've had this fascinating conversation before about how the average amount of time in the minors is going down because we have more access to advanced analytics. That is awesome. If you know you have a hit, play your hit. Sam said it before on this podcast. Don't hug your prospects. But everything within moderation. Don't zoom somebody up just because you get excited. I had to go back because I knew it had been a bit. The Angels have not had a winning season since 2015. So I can see why the front office gets eager and goes, look at all this promise we have in Double and Triple A that looked really good. Maybe they didn't actually do very well in Double or Triple A, but this guy was slugging in the 500s and had an OPS of 1,200 in high A. I'm sure we can encapsulate that. The teams that get trigger happy and then make a habit of doing so repeatedly, I think run the risk of being in the spot the Angels have been in for a while. They had 2 of the best players in baseball, and they could not get over 500 for a prolonged period of time because they could not build around them. And it starts with your farm, and when you get trigger happy with your top prospects, nobody wins. So I disagree with it. I know there are fans of different farms that want their teams to act like the Angels. Oh, we have the good guys. We have the good guys. You have the good guys because you let your guys develop and learn and tweak their swing and their mechanics. So I'm against it. It is how they choose to do business, but I also think it's the reason they are where they are right now.
I'm also against it, and I am a fan of one of those 3 teams you listed. I'm against it for a lot of the same reasons you are against it too, Corey. The key word here is patience, right? Mm-hmm. That's a key word. It's like having a draft pick. If you're an NBA general manager, there's a 2029 draft pick you have in the first round. You can go get someone with that draft pick, but why not let your roster just sit around and really gel together and wait for that guy in 2029 to come across your desk at pick number 16, and maybe he's the missing piece for an NBA Finals run within his first 4 years of his career. But on the other side of the same coin, why not just get the better guy now? Why not get the proven guy now? The Angels have this weird fascination of these guys are proving it right away. Let's get them up. And it simply put does not work. And Corey, I like how you alluded to the 2 best players on planet Earth being on the same roster for what? 6 seasons?
Yep.
2018 to 2023? And they didn't make the playoffs once? You have to have it. Baseball is a lot different than a sport like basketball or even a sport like football, where one guy can just take over a game and shift the entire outcome of that matchup. Granted, football, you still have, 21 other guys on the field, but baseball, there's only really one position that can do that, and that's the pitcher. So you really need to be patient with your pitching. And the Angels just simply don't do that. That's why we have the memes of Mike Trout just hit 4 home runs and 7 RBIs. Shohei Ohtani went 5 scoreless on the mound as the Angels lose to the Detroit Tigers 11-8, right? So the whole team in baseball is a lot more important than the whole team in other professional sports. And the Angels, for whatever reason, just have simply yet to put the pieces of that puzzle together and realize that they can build that whole team in their own farm system.
Yeah, I full agreement. That's why I created the Angels ETA, debuting right here on the Minor League Minute podcast. So yeah, at full agreement. It's really destroying the confidence. I think I'm going to go back to what Coy mentioned, but what both of you really mentioned, the confidence of these guys. I mean, that's developed. We talked about Connor Griffin earlier. That's developed through the reps and through the action in minor league baseball. So quickly go over Diamond in the Rough, strengths, weaknesses. Diamond in the Rough, super excited. Don't mess this up, Angels. Raudi Rodriguez, the number 25 prospect in the system, ETA 2027. He was the 19th round draft choice back in 2023. He came from the same high school as my last Diamond in the Rough, Daniel Espino. Spent last season in Inland Empire, now the Rancho Cucamonga squad that they've added for high A, batted 281, 372, 470 slash, 842 OPS, 14 homers, 83 RBIs, a 189 isolated power, 20% line drive rate, and a 10% home run to fly ball ratio, meaning that 10% of the time when he was hitting the ball in the air, it was leaving the yard. He also batted 433 at the Arizona Fall League and won the AFL Fall Stars MVP. Comp for me, guys, is Teoscar Hernandez. I think that's what Raudi Rodriguez, the potential is there for it. Swing and miss needs to be ironed out, but that's kind of where the game is headed. I think that's something that can be corrected. Also invited to spring training. Strengths, pitching variety with different arms. Even though they're rushing these guys up, a lot of their top prospects, it's hard fastball with Bremner, it's frisbee slider with Johnson, Slawinski all around, fastball, curve, change, Talon Haley, who's just outside of the top 5, 60 grade curveball, 55 grade slider. I mean, the great teams, you see it, have diversity across the pitching staff that have good fastballs, good breaking stuff, a mix of both. So the velocity is there as well. That's a strength. Weakness, MLB ready hit tool. 3 position players in their top 10 list. Lugo, along with Nelson Rada, Denzel Guzman, the best hit tool is 50. Lugo has the most potential out of the bunch, but just like the Pirates, I mean, this is a team that is in desperate need of that youthful energy. So Nada has a chance to be that guy right now, but it's still yet to be decided.
Well done, man. I know it's not a great farm, and it's a team that, again, even for a handful of years with Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, didn't even have a winning season. But I think you did a great job of derooting why. Why does this team not have a great farm? Why did this team have 2 of the best players, the 2 best players in baseball for a handful of years and not win? It's because of the supporting cast, and it all starts in our bread and butter of content, the minor leagues.